The talk is on the 30 planes of existence. This talk is should be quite interesting to most of us because it concerns us very much, where we take rebirth. And this talk actually should be quite a long talk. So I probably, to do justice, I would not be able to complete the talk in one session. So I'll try to do half of it tonight, and then we arrange for another night to discuss the rest of this topic. Now, very often, if you read Buddhist books, you find that they talk about 31 planes of existence. But tonight, I insist that it is 30 planes of existence. It is not 31 planes of existence. The Buddha's teachings has been handed down to us 2,500 years. So there has been a lot of later interpretations of the Dhamma, and this is one of them. Now, why I say it is 30 planes of existence and not the 31 planes is because there is one plane of existence called the Asura plane, which has been added later, and it has been added as one of the woeful planes of existence. In the original Buddha's teachings, there are three woeful planes of existence called the hell realm, the animal realm, and the ghost realm. But later books added a fourth called the Asura realm. And they say that these Asuras can be found as ghosts and also as hell beings. But this is not true according to the early discourses of the Buddha, because in the Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 24, it is mentioned that the lowest grade of Asuras are called Kalakanja Asuras. And in the same Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 20, it is mentioned that at one time there were many devas who came in the sky to see the Buddha, to show respect to the Buddha. It is also mentioned that the Kalakanja Asuras also came. That means Kalakanja Asuras are also devas, heavenly beings. So since they are the lowest grade, there cannot be any lower Asuras, which means that all Asuras are devas, heavenly beings. That's why you have 30 planes of existence. Now these 30 planes of existence is also called the 5 destinations of rebirth. 5 Gati, G-A-T-I, 5 destinations of rebirth. This is found in the early discourses of the Buddha. But later books also talk about 6 destinations of rebirth. And these 6 are also because of that Asura realm. And in the Mahayana books, they always talk about Liu Tao Un Hui, Liu Tao, whereas actually the original is Wu Tao, 5 destinations, not 6. Now these 30 planes of existence are found in every world system, and each world system, according to the Buddha, consists of one sun, one heavenly sun, which means that we look into the sky at night, every star is a sun. So every star represents one world system. And then the Buddha talked about the small 1,000-fold world system. That means about 1,000 suns consists of one small 1,000-fold world system, which nowadays modern science calls a galaxy of about 1,000 stars. And the Buddha also talked about 1,000 of these galaxies, which he calls the middling 1,000-fold world system. There's 1,000 of these galaxies. And then again he talked about the great 1,000-fold world system. That means 1,000 of these middling world systems. So because the Buddha's psychic power is so great, he could see all these world systems. And you can see the truth of the Buddha's teachings in the fact that certain things that the Buddha said 2,500 years ago, nowadays is verified by science. For example, the Buddha said that space is boundless. You cannot find the limits of space. And nowadays, people like Professor Stephen Hawking also is saying the same thing. The Buddha also said that time has no beginning and time has no end in the early discourses of the Buddha. And this is exactly what Professor Stephen Hawking is also saying nowadays. Time has no beginning and no end. We come back to this one world system of these 30 planes of existence. How do you get these 30 planes of existence? Now the Buddha said that every world system has 3 levels. The first one is the karma bhava. Karma refers to sensual desire. So karma bhava, you can say, is a sensual realm. Sensual realm, it is called the sensual realm because sensual desire dominates all beings. So because sensual desire dominates all beings, the beings in this sensual realm are divided into male and female. Male and female, so you have this difference of sex. And then the second level is called the rupa bhava. This is the form realm. Rupa bhava, form realm. This is a unisex world where there is no differentiation of the sexes because these beings here are not interested in sex. They are heavenly beings, all in the form realm are all heavenly beings. And these heavenly beings have shining bodies. Their bodies are full of light. And a person can only be reborn in this form realm if you have attained deep states of samadhi, deep states of concentration called jhana. Jhana are states of mental absorption or states of mental brightness where your mind becomes one-pointed so that it is concentrated and the mind becomes bright, lights up. And then the third level in every world system is called the arupa bhava, means formless realm. These beings here are reborn here because they have attained these formless meditative states of absorption, very deep states of absorption where the mind opens up. The lowest one is called the base of boundless space, where the mind opens up like boundless space. And the second one is base of boundless consciousness, then base of nothingness and neither perception or non-perception. Here, although it's called formless, they are supposed to have very fine body, so fine and so huge that other beings cannot see them. They are so fine that other beings cannot see them. So they are said to be formless. But they should probably have a body because in one of the discourses of the Buddha said, if you have consciousness, consciousness always comes along with the body and feelings and perception. So these are the 3 levels of existence in any world system. Now coming back to the lowest, the sensual realm, here you have 10 planes. 3 are the woeful planes. The lowest 3 are the woeful planes consisting of the hell realm, the animal realm and the ghost realm. And then slightly higher than that is the manusya or manusa, human plane. And then above the human plane we have 6 deva planes, 6 heavenly 6 heavens above us. So 3 woeful planes plus the manusya plus the 6 heavens above us, 10. So this sensual realm we have 10 planes of existence. Then in the form realm you have 16 planes of existence, 16 planes consisting of the four jhana levels. The first jhana, you have 3 people who attain the first jhana. They can be reborn into 3 levels. And then the second jhana, also 3 levels. And then the third jhana, you have 3 levels. And then the fourth jhana, you have more than that. You have 7 levels. So that makes up 16 heavens, 16 planes in the form realm. All the beings here, they have bright, their body consists of bright light. You don't see a body like us with a head, with the hands and all that. You just see a ball of light. Then the third level is the formless realm. Here you have 4 planes, 4 heavens, corresponding to the 4 levels of formless jhana. So 10, the sensual realm, 10 planes, and then the form realm, 16 planes, and then the formless realm, 4 planes, adds up to 30 planes of existence. As I said again, these can be also defined as 5 destinations of rebirth. That means the lowest is the hell realm, then the animal realm, then the ghost realm, then the human realm, and then above us the Deva realms. Actually the Deva realms, there are 26. 26 out of these 30 planes of existence are Deva or heavenly planes, and only 4 are not heavenly planes. But most of the beings in existence are in the lower realms. As you go the higher heavens, you find less and less beings. It's hard to go to heaven, but very easy to go to hell, go to the animal realm. So it's like a pyramid. The higher you go, it's more, there are lesser beings. But the lower you go, there are more beings. I will discuss these 30 planes of existence in terms of the 5 destinations of rebirth. In the Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 12, the Buddha gave similes for the 5 destinations of rebirth. The Buddha gave this simile that a man on a very hot day was walking a long distance and he was tired and thirsty and hungry on that hot day. And then he walked and walked, and then he fell into a deep hole, and the hole was deeper than a man's height, so that he could not climb out. And this first simile was, this deep hole was full of glowing charcoal. So as he fell into this deep hole, he was burned by this charcoal, and he was suffering, and he couldn't come out. This is a simile for hell. When you are in hell, you are in pain and suffering every moment, just like this man in that pit of glowing charcoal coals, and you're suffering. Then the second simile the Buddha gave is of the animal realm. And the animal realm is like a man also on a hot day. He's walking a long distance and he's tired and thirsty and hungry, and he fell into another hole deeper than a man's height. And this hole was full of shit, excrement. And he was in that shit hole, swallowing the shit and trying to climb out and couldn't climb out. That's a simile for the animal realm. So it's also a lot of suffering, but at least not so painful as the hell realm, slightly better. Then the simile for the ghost realm, the Buddha said, he said another man also on a hot day, very tired, thirsty and hungry, looking for a place to rest. And then he came across a tree with little leaves, not much leaves. and he took a rest under the tree. But because the tree didn't have much leaves to shelter him, he was still feeling very hot and bothered by the heat, and still thirsty and hungry and tired under the tree. But that is the simile for the ghost realm. So you see, at least the ghost realm is much better than the animal and the hell realm. Then the simile for the human realm is, the Buddha said, another man, also in the same situation, tired and thirsty and hungry on a hot day, came across a beautiful tree with a lot of leaves and very shady. So he rested under the tree, and he was shaded from the hot sun. So he was enjoying himself under the tree. That's a simile for the human realm. So actually we are having a very good life. We compare ourselves with the ghost, the animal and the hell beings. So we should not complain about life when we compare ourselves with other beings. And then the fifth one, the simile for the heavens, is the Buddha said, another man also tired, thirsty and hungry on a hot day came across a beautiful bungalow, mansion, and he walked inside the mansion and he found this big house inside, so well furnished, with a comfortable bed and all that, and he went to sleep on the bed. So he was enjoying himself in that house, shaded from the sun and everything. So that is the simile for the heavens. So this similes would make us understand how the beings in the woeful planes suffer, and the human and the heavenly planes are quite comfortable. That is why the three woeful planes of existence, hell, animal and ghost realm, are called the Dugati. Just now I talked about 5 Gati, 5 destinations. Dugati is a woeful destination. And then the human realm and the heavenly realm are called Sugati, happy destinations of rebirth. So now I will go into the details of the hell realm. If a person has done a lot of evil karma, evil actions by body or mouth or thoughts, then he is reborn in hell. And when he is reborn in hell, those heavenly beings seize him and bring him before King Yama. King Yama in Cantonese we call Yen Lo, in Mandarin called Yen Lo Wang. And then all the accusations of his evil deeds are laid before him. And then this King Yama will question him why he did not heed the warnings given to him in his previous life. And then this man is surprised. He said, I didn't see any warnings given to me. And then King Yama said, did you not see an old man? Very old, wrinkled, hunchback, white hair or no hair, tottering, weak. He said, yeah, I saw an old man. So King Yama said, when you saw this old man, you should have realized that one day you will be just like this old man. And one day, since you become old like that, you should have been more careful on your actions. Then the second messenger to warn him was supposed to be a sick man. He saw somebody very sick, for example, somebody with cancer, terminally ill with cancer. And then we should realize also there's a great possibility that one day also we will be sick like that. And then the third one is a corpse. If you go to a funeral, you see a corpse, then you must understand that one day our body also will turn into the corpse. So we should have been more careful. So after questioning him about these warning messengers, then the King Yama becomes silent. Now this description of the torture in hell is given very clearly in the Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 130, Dhammavuddho Sutta. Actually, most religions talk about heaven and hell, and so does the Buddhist religion. But the Buddha has talked in great detail about these different planes of existence, because he himself, as I will read to you later, because he himself, he said he has seen and he has known for himself. It's not that he has heard it from somebody, because the Buddha had this great psychic power to see all these things. So the description of the torture in hell, I will read to you, so that you can get a very good idea exactly what the Buddha said. In the sutta, the Buddha said, now the wardens of hell torture him with the fivefold transfixing. They drive a red-hot iron stake through one hand. They drive a red-hot iron stake through the other hand. They drive a red-hot iron stake through one foot. They drive a red-hot iron stake through the other foot. They drive a red-hot iron stake through his belly. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. I'll stop here for a moment. So you see here, when you suffer in hell, it's not like the human plane. In the human plane, when we are tortured like that, the pain is so great we cannot stand. We just die off. But in hell, you cannot die. You have to suffer. You cannot die. It's only later books, sometimes they say that some beings in hell, they die, and then after that they are reborn again. But that is later books. Now to continue with the sutta. Next, the wardens of hell throw him down and tear him with axes. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Next, the wardens of hell set him with his feet up and his head down and bear him with axes. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. That means they take this, what do you call that in Cantonese? This adze. Like the old one, they used to hold like that, and then they plane the wood, How? How? Yeah. So they plane the person's flesh away, and yet he cannot die. To continue, next the wardens of hell harness him to a chariot and drive him back and forth across burning ground, blazing and glowing. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Next, the wardens of hell make him climb up and down a great mound of burning coals, blazing and glowing. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Next, the wardens of hell take him feet up and head down and plunge him into a red-hot metal cauldron, burning, blazing and glowing. He is cooked there in a swirl of froth, and as he is being cooked there in a swirl of froth, he is swept now up, now down, and now across. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. I stop here for a moment. This one is like he's cooked, in a big pot, just like when you cook rice. What do you see? The grains of rice go up and down, go sideways, and so in the same way this person is cooked, he goes up and down and goes sideways and all that. Now to continue. Next, the wardens of hell throw him into the great hell. Now as to that great hell mounts, it has 4 corners and is built with 4 doors, one set in each side, walled up with iron all around, and shut in with an iron roof. Its floor as well is made of iron, and heated till it glows with fire. The range is a full 1,000 kilometers, which it covers all pervasively. I stop here for a moment. So this great hell is like a cube. It is 1,000 kilometers long and 1,000 kilometers wide and 1,000 kilometers high, and it's all iron all around. The roof is iron, the floor is iron, the walls are iron. With four doors on the four sides. 1,000 kilometers is a long distance, you know. For example, it's like the whole of West Malaysia. So imagine that being in that hell, in that great hell, he's walled around like a prison, and he's trying to find his way out. He has to walk one end to the other. Is 1,000 kilometers so far, you know. And then he sees one door, but the door is closed, locked. So he walks another place to go and find another door. Then he finds it's locked again. And all the time he's being burned there, you know. To continue with the description. Now the flames that surge from the great hell's eastern wall dash against its western wall. The flames that surge out from its western wall dash against its eastern wall. The flames that surge out from its northern wall dash against its southern wall. The flames that surge out from its southern wall dash against its northern wall. The flames that dash out from the bottom dash against the top. The flames that surge out from the top dash against the bottom. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Sometime or other, monks, at the end of a long period, there comes an occasion when the great hell's eastern door is open. He runs towards it, treading quickly. As he does so, his outer skin burns, his inner skin burns, his flesh burns, his sinews burn, his bones turn to smoke, and it is the same when his foot is uplifted. When at long last he reaches the door, then it is shut. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Sometime or other, at the end of a long period, there comes an occasion when the great hell's western door is open, and the same thing happens. He struggles and tries to run to that door, and it closes. When his northern door is open, when his southern door is open, he runs towards it, treading quickly, but at long last he reaches the door, then it is shut. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die, so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. So you see, I stop here, this sutta to explain. So you see this poor fellow in hell, suddenly he hears the door opening, you know, and the door might be very far away, and he runs as fast as he can towards the door. By the time he reaches the door closes. So you imagine he's being burned, he's suffering physically, and then when he reaches the door is closed. How much mental suffering he has, you can imagine. And this, after a long time, means probably after a few years, you know, the door is open once. Now to continue. Sometime or other, monks, at the end of a long period, there comes an occasion when the great hell's eastern door is open. He runs towards it, treading quickly. As he does so, his outer skin burns, his inner skin burns, his flesh burns, his sinews burn, his bones turn to smoke. And this is the same when his foot is uplifted. He comes out by that door. Immediately next to the great hell is the vast hell of excrement. He falls into that. In that hell of excrement, needle-mouthed creatures bore through his outer skin, and bore through his inner skin, and bore through his flesh, and bore through his sinews, and bore through his bones, and devour his marrow. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Immediately next to the hell of excrement is the vast hell of hot embers. He falls into that. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Immediately next to the hell of hot embers is the vast wood of simbali trees. 10 kilometers high, bristling with thorns, 16 inches long, burning, blazing and glowing. They make him climb up and down those trees. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings, yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Immediately next to the wood of symbolic trees is a vast wood of sword-leaf trees. He goes into that. The leaves stirred by the wind cut off his hands and cut off his feet and cut off his hands and feet. They cut off his ears and cut off his nose and cut off his ears and nose. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. That he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Immediately next to the wood of sword-leaf trees is a great river of caustic water or acid. He falls into that. There he is swept upstream and he is swept downstream, and he is swept upstream and downstream. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. That he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Next, the wardens of hell pull him out with a hook, and setting him on the ground, they ask him, "Good man, what do you want?" He says, "I am hungry, venerable sirs." Then the wardens of hell prise open his mouth with red-hot iron tongs, burning, blazing and glowing, and they throw into his mouth a red-hot metal ball, burning, blazing and glowing. It burns his lips, it burns his mouth, it burns his throat, it burns his stomach, and it passes out below, carrying with it his large and small intestines. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. That he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Next, the wardens of hell ask him, "Good man, what do you want?" He says, "I am thirsty, venerable sirs." Then the wardens of hell prise open his mouth with red-hot iron tongs, burning, blazing and glowing, and they pour into his mouth molten copper, burning, blazing and glowing. It burns his lips, it burns his mouth, it burns his throat, it burns his stomach, and it passes out below, carrying with it his large and small intestines. There he feels painful, racking, piercing feelings. Yet he does not die so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. Then the wardens of hell throw him back again into the great hell. So you see, this poor guy in hell, he was suffering in that great hell and trying to get out of one of the doors. And he manages to get out one of the doors, but he fell into the hell of excrement. And in that shit, you have all these worms that can penetrate his flesh into his bone and suck his bone marrow. And he is there for many years suffering, swimming about in the hell of excrement or shit, trying to find his way out. And one day he manages to get out of that hell of excrement, and he falls into the hell of hot embers where he is burned. And he's burned there for many years and trying to get out. One day he gets out of that hell, falls into the wood of symbolic trees. And there he is caught and he's forced to climb up the tree, which is 1 kilometer high, with a lot of thorns, 16 inches long, and burning and blazing and glowing. He climbs up and down the trees for a few years and trying to get out. One day he manages to get out, goes into the wood of symbolic trees, where he suffers because the leaves cut his hands and feet and his nose, etc. Then after many years there, he manages to get out. He falls into the great river of acid, where he is burned and he's swept up and down. And then one day, after a few years, he's caught by the wardens of hell and tortured again by this metal ball thrown into his mouth and this molten metal. And then after that, they catch him and throw him back into the great hell again. So you see, he went one round, one hell after the other, went back to the great hell again. And I don't know how many times he has to go round and round like that. And according to the Buddha, a person in hell can stay there for hundreds of thousands of years. Hundreds of thousands of years when you are suffering every moment can be like eternity. When we are suffering, time seems to go very slowly. For example, at night when we cannot sleep, the night seems so long. But when you are happy, there seems like to be not enough time. That's why you see, like in other religions, like in Christianity, they say if you fall into hell, you are there for eternity. Actually, it seems like eternity because time is so long. Now, the Buddha said, the suffering in hell, nothing can compare to it. Even if you are stabbed by 300 spears, that pain that you experience is nothing at all compared to the pain in hell. And in hell, in one of the suttas, the Buddha said that you know what you did that caused you to be in that hell. It's not that you do not know. You realize. Firstly, when you fall into the hell, all these accusations are brought before you. What you did, for example, that you ill-treated your parents, or you killed some holy men, or you hunted animals, shot them, hundreds of animals, or you slaughtered pigs or buffaloes, etc. So when you're in hell, you actually realize what you did. And also in one sutta, the Majjhima Nikaya, Dhananjani Sutta, number 97, it is mentioned that if you are going to hell, the wardens of hell come and drag you off, That's why, like the Chinese believe, they say Ngao Tao Ma Min, the buffalo head and the horse face coming to bring you to hell. Seems to be true, because I have actually met people who told me that their father, few days before dying, actually did see these beings come. So sometimes some of these things we don't scoff at it. And then sometimes some people who are going to hell, just before they die, you can also know. For example, some of them at the last moment they may scream. If you, I don't know, in a position like me as a monk, I happen, maybe I get more opportunity to talk to people about all these things, and I hear many instances of people. For example, there's one lady in Singapore. One couple told me their friend was dying of cancer. And she used, the last few days before she died, she used to suddenly cry, and they asked her why. She said she saw herself tied up in chains. And she was asking why they tie her up in chains. And this happened a few times. That means probably she was going to be reborn in a place where she would be tied up in chains and probably tortured. And then many of us know, like butcher, people who kill pigs for a living, and just before they die, they show signs of behaving like a pig or so. And it seems that it's very difficult for them to die. You have to show them the knife, the butcher's knife. Then only they die, because they're going to be probably chopped up, like the way they chopped up the pig. So this is a description of hell.